now, you're not distracted by the noise. You're not weighed down by relationships that aren't serving you. You're focused. You're intentional. And that's where the magic happens. When you're focused on your own growth, on your own self-improvement, you naturally start to attract people who are on that same path. You start to attract people who are aligned with your values, your goals, your vision for your life. And that's what makes those small circles so powerful. They're not filled with people who are just there for the good times. They're filled with people who are there for the hard times too. They're filled with people who are invested in your success, who want to see you win, not just for their benefit, but because they genuinely care about you. And let me tell you, that kind of support, that's priceless. That's what we all need in our lives. We don't need 1 million acquaintances. We don't need a crowd of people who only show up when things are easy. We need a few solid people who are going to stand by us through thick and thin, who are going to encourage us, challenge us, and support us no matter what. And that's what a woman with a small circle has. She's got quality people in her life, and that's all she needs. So if you're out here thinking that you need to have a big circle to be secure, to be happy, to feel validated, let me tell you, that's not the case. Real security doesn't come from the number of people in your life. It comes from the quality of the people in your life. It comes from knowing who you are, knowing your worth, and not settling for anything less than what you deserve. It comes from setting boundaries, protecting your peace, and being intentional about who you let into your space. And that's not something everybody's going to understand. Some people are going to look at you and think you're difficult, or that you're too selective, or that you're shutting people out. But that's okay, because at the end of the day, the only person who needs to understand your journey is you. The only person who needs to feel good about your decisions is you. And when you get to that place of peace, when you're secure in who you are and the people you choose to surround yourself with, that's when you'll truly be free. That's when you'll realize that a small circle, a selective circle filled with people who genuinely care about you is far more valuable than a big crowd of people who are just there for the ride. And that's where real security comes from. So when you see a woman with no friends or a very small circle, don't assume she's missing out on something. Don't jump to conclusions thinking she's lonely or isolated. She's not. She's secure. She's strong. She's focused. This is a woman who has chosen to prioritize herself, her peace, and her goals. And that takes courage. It takes a lot of courage to go against what society tells you, that you need to be surrounded by people, always in the middle of the crowd, to be validated. But she's learned that validation doesn't come from how many people are around you. It comes from within. This woman knows something that many people overlook. Solitude is not something to be feared. Solitude is where you find your strength. It's where you figure out who you are and what you really ought to.
All right. What's up with y'all, man? We here off the late night like I like to come. You know, like to come when everybody sleep. Ain't nobody up but me. You know. Yeah, the topic tonight is, you know, when a woman, people see a woman by herself and always by herself, you know, she being judged, you know, people think, you know, she must be an off-brand because she ain't got nobody around, you know, ain't nobody inviting her out, and, you know, she doing her own thing. And, you know, a lot of people, they can't function if a lot of people not around them, you know, and, you know, I remember I used to go to the movies by myself on, like, on Mondays, if I didn't go over the weekend, just because I was doing other things, but I'm a movie buff. So before the week will come, full circle, the weekend, I was like, all right, you know, I need to hit that movie. We had a movie theater in Union Station, and that was my spot on Mondays, I used to hit right after work. So it'd be like just a small crowd there. You could really enjoy the movie. And I remember I seen Michael Spinks down in Union Station in DC, and I spoke to him. He had on like a big cowboy hat with cowboy boots, jean outfit, big tall bama, and so he just straight ignored me, just kept walking. So I said, "Yeah, that's why Mike knocked you out," and I started running. you know, I ain't want no smoke, but yeah, but he straight curved me though. You know what I'm saying? So that was funny. Yeah. Yeah, I like talking to y'all, man, cause I get to remembering something crazy that's in the vault, and I like to share my stories, man. So if nothing else, that's why I'm on here, so I can share my stories, cause I think my life been interesting, for me not to be a celebrity or nobody of that stature. I've been a socialite all my life. That's the lane that I fit into. And I've been around the movers, the shakers, and the beautiful women. And yeah, man, I just got a lot to talk about. A lot of stuff I forgot, and I had some vicious pictures, 3 scrapbooks that I had, and my first wife threatened to burn them pictures in them scrapbooks. You better take them books to your mother house. I'm tired of your friends, you know, drooling over them pictures. It was just me and my crew with all the beautiful ladies we used to party with, go out of town with, pool parties, travel with. Man, I was part of a awesome party clique. You know what I'm saying? And we all had money. We was all young, free. Wasn't tied down with kids and married. We had fun, man. We was getting money. You know what I'm saying? And I mean getting money. I'm talking about we was working, had jobs, good jobs, and you know what I'm saying, and we was always up and down the East Coast, Atlantic City, New York, Philly, Jersey. Then we'll slide down to North Carolina, South Carolina, and yeah, that was like the up and down that I was doing before I started getting on the planes, going to countries and out of the country. Well, going to countries and visiting overseas in general. You know what I'm saying? Because when I got married, I got a passport. I got on the plane. I got on the cruise, and I was out the country all at the same time. I did all of that at one time. At the same time, everything was a first because my thing was you ain't had to travel nowhere for real because everybody came to DC. You had Howard University, you had Bowie State, you got Morgan State, Maryland U, you know what I'm saying? You got Townsend. Everything was right here. We was at all, I'm forgetting GW, the PWIs, you know what I'm saying? Georgetown, George Mason. What else? Man, look, we was at every campus, at every party that we knew about or found out about, and we wasn't invited. We crashed them joints. That's why I keep laughing every time I see the wedding crashes. I say we was the original party crashes. We roll up in that joint, wasn't invited, and they was glad to see us after we got the party jumping. The women there looking cute and beautiful, want to dance, and the jokers in there all, swolled up, like they want to fight, and we come in there and they was real tight after we got in there and started scooping up the women, what I'm saying? And then, we had a thing with us. After the party, we trying to go eat because we done drank and we hungry, And we'll all go to IHOP or Denny's, and then we got sophisticated after we started getting apartments, and what I'm saying, and so we was on some, where we going, what house we going to, and who cooking. We got the ladies to start cooking for us. You know what I'm saying? So we wasn't going to IHOP, standing in a long line for half of the night to eat cold eggs and bacon. By the time you got your food, we graduated from that. So I just tell you, man, if nothing else, I enjoy my early 20s, my whole 20s, my early, like, teenage years, like from 16 on up. When I started venturing out to party, man, you know, I tell my son, watch House Party. That's my generation in the 80s. That's how we got down. When you left a party and you wasn't sweating, we knew you was on the wall, holding up the wall. You all tight. You ain't getting no numbers. You ain't going to eat nowhere with no honeys. And wherever we was at, we wound up spending the night because everybody was drunk and full with the itis. Man, I remember waking up, women all around us. We on the couch, we on the floor with pillows and blankets. And I'm waking up like, who these damn girls? And it was all good. Wasn't nobody taking advantage of nobody. We was all cool. And we could have just met that night. That's how we got down, man. You know what I'm saying? Everything was cool. It was love. And now if you really was feeling somebody and they was feeling you, you dipped off or whatever. But, you know, it was love, man. It's like we really put together a good crew to travel and party with, man. And of course, when you stepped out, you had to be fly and fresh, so the fashion and the gear was on point. So I missed them scrapbooks. My car got stole because when my wife was tripping, I threw the scrapbooks in my trunk of my hoopty because we had bought a new car at the time. So I threw them in my trunk of my hoopty, which I only drove on the weekends. And I drove it that weekend and I parked it like a Sunday night when I got in. And Monday morning, we going to work. I ain't see the hoopty outside, right? So I was like, damn, okay. So in the apartment we lived in, you could park out front, you could park out back, and then you could park on the street. I walked out back, out front, into the street. I ain't see no glass broken. I say, damn, they must have told my joint. Cause that's how they done upgraded with stealing cars now. They come with a tow truck now. You know what I'm saying? So they ain't gotta break your windows and pop your lock. They come with a tow truck now to steal your junk if they really want it. So that's how they going now. You know what I'm saying? So I was pissed. So I called off work. I said, man, I ain't coming in. My car got stolen. You know, they were like, the new John? Like, nah, the hoop dog. They were like, well, what you worry about? I say, nigga, excuse me, ninja. I got all my scrapbooks in it from me and the crew with the honeys in it from us being 16 up to our 20s. And I got married when I was 32, my first wife. Man, I was sick. I ain't even want the car back. Just find my car so I can get my pictures out of it. That's all I was concerned about. And you think they found that car? So I live near Eastover. If you know about DC, you know where Eastover is at. And Eastover is right there where the MGM casino is at. So that's the Beltway going over Woodrow Wilson Bridge. I report it to PG County. I'm from DC, so I put the word out to the cops. I know, hey man, my car got stole. Y'all see it in the district. Hit me up, you know. And so PG was like, you know, the youngins from Virginia is coming over into Maryland stealing cars, especially if you live near the Beltway. And they don't look for cars in Virginia. So I was sick. You hear me? So 30 days passed. They don't file my joint. They write me a check. I don't want the check. I'm like, man, y'all gotta find my car. They like, look, bro, if you gonna take this check or not, but we ain't looking for your car no more. So, man, I'm just telling y'all, I don't mean to toot my horn, but I do mean to toot my horn. Me and my crew was all that, for real. From the women we hung around, that we dated, that we had relations with, women we traveled with, women that cooked for us, you know, the crew, we was like young men in our prime, in shape. You know, we walked around with our shirts off all the time because we was fit, had six packs with the abs. And man, I tell these youngest, man, enjoy your young body, man, because when it's gone, it's gone. So yeah, man, just reminiscing. That's what I like to do when I get on here. I like reminiscing. And you know, you get to a point, your family get the, all right, man, we heard your story. We heard that story. Stop talking about this. I like, man, you can't stop keep talking about great times that you done had. You just can't. So if you really don't have no great stories, then you ain't got nothing to talk about. And I think people get irritated and annoyed when they ain't got no stories, no great stories to talk about, and multiple stories. So they get annoyed when they hear you talking and you always got a story about something and it's factual, you know. Because I got a coworker that I talk to, and I got a story for everything, damn near. And he just be laughing. I say, man, I know you think I'm lying, but I'm really not. I say, I say a trait of a liar, the story changes all the time. I say everything I tell you, I keep saying the same thing, the same way, all the time. So that's when you know somebody lying or be lying. Because every time they tell a story and you heard it before and is not the way he told it the first time he lied. Just putting y'all up on some game. So yeah. So yeah, man. So, you know, what time is almost 2. I ain't gonna hold y'all. I'm gonna try to get an hour in. And we 20 minutes in, so I got 40 more minutes. Let's get you some music, man. You know, let's get you some music, bro. I love the music from the 70s. You know, I'm a 70s baby, so I figure, since I was a shorty in the 70s, I heard the music, but I ain't understand the music. But anything in the 80s on up, I done been there, done that, and heard it. So I'm trying to, really tap into the 70s on back. You know what I'm saying? When I play music. So yeah.
Newark, how you doing? And if you leave me, I will follow. You can leave me
Skip Mahoney and the Cassie, straight out of DC.
You play second base. I will love you till the day I die, but never love you enough to live a life. Go 3 steps up, 3 steps down. Wanna be treated like a king, you gotta wear a crown. Wanna play the boss scene, y'all. Guess what? You got to pay the cost, sing. Show love. You wanna wear the pants, sing. Guess what? You got to be a man, sing. Show love. Hanging out with your friends. Oh, guess what? And watch the time you come in. Show love. Don't wanna pay no bills. We know somebody who will. Show love. See, we got some issues that need you to feel for you. Hey. I need you to understand. Need you to feel this fire. Over and over. 'Cause only you can get me out of here. I just can't be raising on me. Wanna be treated like a king? Oh, hey, hey. Ladies, you know when your man don't be acting right. Huh? Your girls be like, oh, hey, come on. Hey, they be like, hey, come on. Oh, listen. Bag lady, you gon' hurt your back. Carrying all them bags like that. Away the distractions, the outside noise that need to be everything for everybody else. That's when you grow. You see, when you're by yourself, you're not running from one person to the next, seeking approval or attention. You're sitting with yourself, facing your thoughts, your feelings. And that's where real clarity comes. That's where you start to understand what truly matters to you. You ever notice how the loudest people in the room are often the ones most unsure of themselves? They need the noise, they need the attention, because deep down they don't feel secure on their own. But that woman with the small circle, she doesn't need the noise. She's found peace in her own company. She's comfortable with herself. She's learned to love herself enough to not chase after validation from others. And that's a powerful place to be. When you reach that level of self-awareness, when you know that the most important relationship you'll ever have is the one with yourself, everything changes. You're no longer out here trying to prove anything to anybody. You're not seeking approval because you've already given it to yourself. You've already affirmed your own worth, and that's why she walks with confidence. That's why she's not afraid to stand alone, because she knows she's never truly alone. She's got herself, and that's enough. Now, don't get it twisted. This doesn't mean she's shut off from the world. It doesn't mean she doesn't value relationships. She does. In fact, she probably values them.
Told you all that you holding on to ain't cool, ain't cool, no, it ain't cool. One day you gon' see he's crowding your space. I said one day you gon' see he's crowding your space. I said one day you gon' see he's crowding your space. One day I'm gonna say you can get out my face. So pack line. Ooh, ooh, wanna be treated like a king, then wear the crown. Wanna play the boss thing, y'all. Guess what? You got to pay the cost. Show up. You wanna wear the pants, sing. Guess what? You got to be a man, sing. Yeah. Hanging out with your friends. Guess what? You watch what time you come in. Yeah. Show up. Don't wanna pay no bills. Guess what? We know somebody who will. Show up. You heard me for the last time. Guess what? It's time to tell you what's on my mind. Always with her running these streets. Well, I found someone that's gonna just show me nothing but lies coming out your mouth. Guess what? Well, going back to it, mama's house. Cause you've been dancing around, yeah. And now it's time to put them down. Feel they coming through that door. Guess what? We're not gonna take his mess no more. Baby, 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 hey. Tell me, can you feel me? Guess what? Baby,
All right, all right. All right, that's Selena Johnson's on Nucci Porch, front porch. Y'all go check out the homegrown Nucci, and he from the go-go background. Uh News update. Raheem Devine is a radio personality now, as well as a R&B artist, you know, and he's on what is it, 96.3 from 7 to 12, and he doing the slow jams, the Melvin Lindsay edition, you know. Then Ralph Tresvant, that's on 102.3, which is Kathy Hughes radio network. He's on Thursday through Sunday, I think. Or Sunday through Thursday. Yeah. And and then before I'll Be Sure got sick, he was on the Ralph Tresvant Monday through Thursday from 7 to 12. And yeah. And I think we all agree that I'll Be Sure did his thing. Ralph is doing his thing, but I think I like I'll Be Sure delivery better because and I think the ladies do too because he got more charisma. You know, he had the deep voice, trying to sound like Barry White. And so Al had a whole gimmick going, and Ralph just got that boyish, high pitched, sound. We love it, him singing, but being a radio personality, it don't do it for me, and but it ain't supposed to. because he catered to the ladies. You get what I'm saying? So, but even my wife was like, I'll be sure about it. I like, yeah, I agree with that. So just listening to Raheem Devon trailer, they roll out because this is his first week. I haven't heard his segment yet, but I'm sure he's gonna do a great job because it's something about the solo singers. Ralph is a group singer, even though he has solo projects, but his claim to fame is group oriented, and he don't have the solo voice. If you get what I'm saying, so to just be talking, and introducing music, you know. Even Donnie Simpson, he had it. It was just know, real charisma. I mean, some people got it and some people don't. I think I'll be a good radio personality. I think I got charisma. I got stories to tell. And how you listen to people commentating the games and all that. I think I could do all that. If given the opportunity. But yeah, that's what's up with that. You know.
She's intentional about who she lets into her life. She's not going to just let anybody in because she understands that her peace, her energy, those things are precious. She's not about to waste them on people who don't bring value to her life. She's not about to let people in who will disrupt the peace she's worked so hard to cultivate. That's why her circle is small. It's not because she can't make friends. She knows the difference between real connection and superficial relationships. She knows that just because someone is around doesn't mean they're adding value. Just because someone calls themselves a friend doesn't mean they truly have your back. She's learned to recognize the difference between people who are there for the good times and people who will stand by her through the storms. And once you've been through enough storms, you start to realize who's really in your corner. Mm-hmm. So when you see that woman with a small circle, don't think she's missing out. Don't think she's lonely. She's made a conscious choice to surround herself with people who lift her up, people who support her, people who respect her. And let me tell you, that kind of support system, even if it's just one or two people, is worth more than a crowd of acquaintances. It's easy to follow the crowd. It's easy to surround yourself with people just so you don't feel alone. But it takes strength to stand alone. It takes courage to say, I'm going to walk my own path, even if not everyone understands it.